Notts County Talk, episode 25 of the Pavis perspective. We're getting through these now, Tom, aren't we? Absolutely flying through them. 25 episodes already. And we only
I'm
started
surprised. Yeah,
this season, didn't we?
I'm surprised people like it. To be honest, just me and you just talking a load of rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah, we've not had any guests on it, have we? Which is it's surprising that so many people tune in. And, I hope they enjoy it. But, Tom, are you over
Yeah.
Tuesday? That's the real question.
Um. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, am I over it? No, I'm not. I'm not. It's a game that had to be won. It was there to be won. Started slow again. You know, it's all well and good saying they sat in, and they did disrupt how we played. So
Yeah.
that's a point. But if teams are going to sit in, you've got to find a way of breaking them down.
Yeah.
You have to find a way. I know that Maidenhead frustrated Stockport first off, and they found a way to break them down. But it's 6 wins on the spin before that, so I can't be too harsh.
Yeah. And Bertram didn't want to use the excuse, did he, of, the disrupted games, games being called off and stuff like that. I think it's had a massive part to play in momentum. Because like we said before, it doesn't feel like we've been on a 6-game winning streak.
No.
Because I don't think we've lost since, is it October?
I
If my
don't know.
memory
I don't
serves
even
me.
remember the last time. It feels like I haven't even been to Medellin this
Yeah, I
season.
know.
I
It's
know we went a
ridiculous.
few weeks ago, but
But I wanna talk about something Richard from Notts County starts put on his Twitter. If we get 3 points from Bromley on Saturday, taking 4 points from those 2 away games, it's not a bad return. It's going to be a difficult game against Bromley. They're a good side, but reflecting on it, 4 points from 2 away games, it's not too bad, is it? It's
no.
it's it's still good going.
It's very good. It would be very, very good. And you know what? I wouldn't have expected us to get 6 points in these games. And in the grand scheme of things, who would you rather take the points off? You'd rather take the points off Bromley than Wealdstone. Wealdstone aren't going to be challenging up there at the end. Let's not go to Bromley and if we do get these points, let's not go to Bromley and get a draw, and then we haven't made any ground. Let's go to Bromley and get the win.
Yeah.
But yeah,
100%.
quite a few people, George, saying. Ian says even if sorry lads, the only reason we didn't win there's no vlog. Chris says hashtag mandatory vlog. Another Chris Jordan says no vlog, no party. That is a thing, isn't it? It's become the thing.
It has, yeah. Isn't that crazy?
I think it's 8. 7 or 8.
I think it's 8.
I think it's 8 games this season.
Yeah.
Obviously, we did the Rochdale replay, but that doesn't count. 8 league games, 8 wins on the vlog. Unbelievable.
It's not bad going, that is it? Not bad return. No. It's not a bad return.
Going back to what he said then, we've sort of talked about things, but this, with the breaking in games, this is something that hasn't, it's nothing to do with the breaking games, in my opinion, is the slow starts, because that's been happening all season. I think we scored something like, I know we scored the lowest amount of goals in the opening 30 minutes, and I know it was asked all the way back at the, where Bertrand was there, the sort of the forum. It was asked back all the way back then, and Bertrand sort of said, "Look, we like to be patient, keep the ball," but there is an issue there, because I do feel in some games, potentially Wealdstone, but other games, if not score early, the game will open up even more. I think there needs to be quicker starts to games, definitely, 100%.
Yeah, there does, and he sort of defended the fact, didn't he? He sort of said we start slow to sort of tire teams down and grind them out a little bit and frustrate them, and I genuinely do feel like that works. I do feel like if you've not had that much possession for half an hour, you are going to get frustrated, and you're probably going to fall out of tactics a little bit. Try and regain possession out of position a little bit more maybe, and we can't be too harsh on it because we're still on quite a good run. Like everyone's sort of overseen the fact that we should have beat Wealdstone on Tuesday. We nearly did beat them, didn't we? Really. Richardson got one cleared off the line later on in the game, and we had our chances. But it's just, that's just football, isn't it? There's games like that where we're going to get a draw, and then I'm not saying it will happen, but we could go to Bromley on Saturday and win 3-0. In a game where if we'd have beat Wealdstone on Tuesday, you'd take a point because they're banging form, aren't they? Bromley, they're doing quite well this season.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard. I think they played Woking in the week away. They didn't play very well, apparently.
Yeah.
They were lucky, very, very lucky to get away with the win. And I know Woking didn't have Tyrone Campbell, who's just been sold to Rochdale, I believe. Obviously got those 13 goals. Not sure why you would buy him, because it's his first real good spell, and he's barely scored in the past sort of 7 or 8 games. But we'll get onto transfers in a minute. But yeah, that's a strange one for me. But yeah, they didn't have their top scorer playing, and Bromley sort of limped through that. Whether the talk of the manager and Gillingham is on his mind, I don't know where that's at. It seems to have dragged on a long time for that. But I'm sort of playing devil's advocate because I'm still positive, massively positive. I'm not sat here slating. I'm just asking the questions and seeing what you think. Ruben Rodriguez, haven't heard much from him. Wasn't massively influential against Kings Lynn. I think he got an assist, if I remember right. But the rest of the game wasn't too influential. Eastleigh did nothing. Gets the assist for Sam at the end.
Comes on later, doesn't he?
Assist. Yeah, but he was absolutely anonymous until then. And then, I've seen it. We didn't go to the game. Obviously, we spoke about that. We had work. But there's some people were saying he may as well have been in the stands against Wealdstone. Is it time to rotate a bit? Start Brunt?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think you can't really penalise Ruben, because you're going to have those games where you don't play as well, spikes in form, and in my opinion, I don't think you can be too critical of his recent performances, because I thought second half against Kings Lynn he was quite good. He's integral in all the movement or the pass and go sort of play that we did in that second half, and he comes on late against Eastleigh needing a goal, and he does really well to get the assist, because I think a lot of players wouldn't have got the assist in the style that he did, because it was getting away from him. He sort of slid in, hasn't it, and put it through to Eli. So I thought he did all right. Players when they're in form, they're going to players of his standard are always going to put in a performance where you think he's gone missing a little bit. That just happens. Like I've already said, that's just football. I wouldn't like to see him dropped in the next game.
No, not it. No, fair enough. No. Maybe if it was a less important game, I think I'd like to see more of Brunt.
Yeah, me too, because you left feeling quite intrigued to how well he is going to fit in. We've seen that he does fit in quite well against Kings Lynn, like I've already said. But just to get a start under his belt would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Going to bring up what Curtis has said. 2 games in hand, 6 points off top, basically half a season to challenge for the title. I agree. I mean, you saw our result. Look at the games before. Maidenhead have gone and beat Halifax. They went and beat Chesterfield. Did they do Halifax as well? Can't remember. Maidenhead. Maidenhead. They've won 2 big games, haven't they?
I think they beat Wrexham as well earlier on in the season, didn't they?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, there'll be another result this weekend we won't expect, and not drawn to Wealdstone won't even be, in the bottom 20% or top 20% of worst results of the season. There'll be Stockport will go and lose a game, to someone lower down. Chesterfield, Notts will lose, and we'll all be on here again thinking, there's instant reaction after the game, isn't it? To feel.
Yeah.
I know you said on the video after the game you were devastated by a result. It did feel like that at the time, didn't it? It felt for me for some reason like it was close to the end of the season, like it was sort of 5-6 games to go and vital, but it's not. So what Curtis has said there is, I massively agree with that. Yeah. But half a season, we'll see teams like Dover, and I guarantee it might be against Notts. Dover will take a point off at least a point off one of the current top 7.
I don't know.
Yeah, Kings Lynn will do it. Teams will do it this season, and then that's how it's going to go. So, yeah, Curtis, we've still got ages to go, and the fact, we're now 7 unbeaten, and Stockport have won 8 in a row, but we've won 6 of the last 7. It's just, it's testament to how we're doing.
Yeah,
going
exactly.
under the radar. Definitely. Ian says, you don't panic after not winning the game, stick with what you've been doing and keep faith. Yeah, quite a lot of you saying that. Colin, my biggest frustration at times we have so many chances to put the ball in and don't because you try and walk it in. I don't think, although we've got Carl Wotton, I don't think we can really lump it. We don't suit that style. I think Carl Wotton plays well, and we saw on the stats that Richard gave us last week, he plays with his back to goal, doesn't he? Yeah. From crosses, he's not actually for his size, he's not amazing from crosses. I remember a couple of games he's missed one open goal from a cross, and then he'll do something fantastic and score like a couple of headers. I think he did against Kings Lynn a few seasons ago when there was no fans in. But then he's back to goal kind of player. So do you think Walker? It's hard, isn't it? Because it's all well and good when we're scoring 4 in the second half against Kings Lynn, literally playing that tippy-tappy football, but sometimes it's frustrating. So I think we need a plan B. We need a plan B we can go to, because it felt like on Tuesday the plan B was to chuck Eli Sam on and sort of just keep doing the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say, isn't it, because we weren't at the game, but I'd maybe have liked seeing a bit of a formation change. Obviously, this is the thing as well. It's all right depicting these games and thinking things should have gone a certain way. But you've got to give Birchnell some credit. Like, the changes that he has made in games, and notice that he could change things here and there. Like, he normally does get them bang on, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
But I just feel like he could have changed something a little bit different maybe in that game. But I don't want to be too critical of him, because I feel like a lot of the calls he's made this season have been pretty spot on. But yeah, I do know what you mean. Does there need to be a different plan? Maybe. But by the same token, going back to what I've already said, we're on a good run. We've got 2 games in hand off Stockport, who are top, and we're 6 points off them. So we're not doing that bad, are we?
No. Ian says, not a big Eli fan. We looked well at front on Tuesday when he came on. George has been saying to me, maybe not on the podcast as much, George has been saying to me week in, week out for a good month or so, Eli Sam has got something about him and is coming back in. Genuinely, I don't give you much credit, George, because you don't make much sense half the time. But, I'm still thinking about Lewis Knight at wing back or in goal or whatever he said he should be playing. But
yeah, wait till he goes out on gets playing at
Bradford. No, I can't wait to see him. Yeah, come back.
Wing back.
There you go, wing back. But yeah, Eli, there's a player there. There's a definite player there. And look what confidence brings. Chris said he deserves a start.
Someone said it, didn't they, in one of our previous episodes? He's one of those sort of players that you go to a different National League club after he leaves Notts and rip it up.
Yeah.
30 goals.
Yeah, he probably would. It will never see it at Notts. Never ever see him as the main man. But it'd be interesting. It would be interesting giving him that responsibility of playing every week. I don't know how we'd do it and how we'd perform, but it'd be interesting. Royston says, will not style of football get them through the second half of the season, or will they have to change the tactics? So I'm only talking about the tactics version, because we sort of talked about that, but the second half of the season kind of thing. So my thought, and this is what I'm going to say now, and this will remain till the end of the season, Stockport are ridiculous under Chandler. Ridiculous. The guy's a serial winner. Went to Hartlepool, had Hartlepool doing great things. It got Hartlepool up. Very, very, very good manager. Like one of the best in the league. And if you look at him on paper, he's the best manager in the league, probably.
Yeah, proven. Literally proven. And he did it with Hartlepool with a very small, if I'm right in thinking, 0 budget.
Was he in charge when we went to Hartlepool? Was he the Hartlepool manager then? Maybe not, but
I think he was.
Very, very good manager, and he's got Stockport playing ridiculous football. From what I've read and what I've seen, they were struggling against Maidenhead. Made a little switch and blew them apart second half. Got a very good team at his disposal. So for me, it goes down to this: their next 11 games, Stockport, I think it's 8 of their next 11 are against teams outside the top 6. Most of them are bottom half. I think get to the end of that 11-game run, because Notts' 11-game run is the opposite. It's tricky. We've got big teams in there. Get to the end of that 11-game run with, I think, within 6 points of Stockport, and we'll be in a good position for the run-in.
Yeah.
Because our last 7 games are ridiculous. We went through it last week. Ridiculous. Dover, Kings Lynn, Weymouth, Altrincham, Maidenhead. I know Maidenhead have caused some upsets, but you'd rather your last game this season be away at Maidenhead than away at Wrexham or away at Bromley like we've got this weekend. I think within 6 points, I don't know if you agree, we've spoken a lot about the run-in. Within 6 points of Stockport after the next 11 games, closer if possible, we're in a good shape then, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I really do. It's going to be a crazy end to the season, because we've only really talked about how close we are off the top and stuff like that, but You actually look at the league, it's incredible how tight it is. I think is it for 9th up? It's so tight.
I think it's a little bit. Yeah,
literally anyone could win the league.
Yeah, they could.
It's crazy. But this, I do feel like this is the closest we've sort of been to like milling around the top of the table, isn't it?
Yeah.
Since we've been in the National League.
It's about staying power. Because I've been saying this, and I might be completely wrong, and they might turn it around, but I've been saying Halifax will start to drop, and they will start to drop off, and they have now only two or three games, but they are slowly slipping. They were well ahead at one point by a good 2, 3, 4 points. I know there was games in hand with the teams. Halifax are now slipping. Teams will slip. They will definitely slip, and it's about holding on, because those last 7 games, and Chris has said that the teams are playing in the last 7 are all similar to Wilson. We can't assume we'll roll them over. I completely agree, Chris. We'll probably go lose one of those last 7, if not with the pressure, maybe even lose 2 of those last 7. But I would rather have those teams than finish the way Stockport are finishing with like Solihull, Wrexham, Torquay, because Torquay aren't easy for anyone, although they're not doing very well this season by their standards. We were told, weren't we? We were slated. We were saying, Torquay fans telling us they've got a better team than they've ever had in the National League. Well, don't see that. I see Danny Wright scored 2 goals all season. So that's enough about Torquay. But just keep tabs. Just keep tabs. And Neil says 4 of the last 6 are at home, which is massive. I'm so much more confident playing sides at home than away. And someone already mentioned, does the state of the pitches away from home or the size of the pitch? The state of the pitch in the first half against Kings Lynn had a huge influence. The players weren't used to it, were they? They were passing the ball in places they expected it to go, and it would hold up, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It was like watching Bambi on ice.
It was. It's like watching you at 5
11.
You at 5 aside.
Don't be like that.
I've still got.
Let's not go there.
No, I've still got a cut on my ankle from you 2 weeks ago. I'm surprised people watching this didn't hear the collision. You've got to admit that was a shocking tackle.
That was spot on. You got him away, so I cleaned you out of the way.
I took the ball away from you.
Put it in your legs away from you.
I'm not sure about that. Chris, good to see we have 2 home games after Bromley. You sent me a message today earlier when I hadn't quite seen it. Buzzing. What for?
Yeah. Barnet's been rescheduled, hasn't it, for the 8th of February, which is not next Tuesday, the Tuesday after. Buzzing about that. We had a bit of a gap there. Back-to-back home games, I think, massively helps us because we're doing so well at home at the minute. Don't get me wrong, we do have to improve our away form. But, just to get a couple of wins in, get some positivity flowing back again, because I think Bromley is going to be difficult, isn't it?
3G pitch, someone's mentioned, does have a factor. It does, because we don't play on the 3G pitch. They do. I remember last season, right at the end of the season, went there, final game, I think, and lost. It was for them to get into a playoff place, I think.
Do you remember Sutton?
Didn't really turn out. Yeah.
We did well there. Remember, last minute.
Yeah, this isn't Sutton, is it? So
same thing.
It's not. It's Bromley.
3G pitch.
It's Bromley, not Sutton. Well, you could say that about anything then.
Yeah, but we did well on a 3G pitch. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm just trying to see. There we go. That's better. We'll leave it like that then for the rest of the show.
Oh, dear me.
And I can blot you out if one. So I'll bring you back. You want one more chance. So Ian's just put it in. That's what we're going on to next. Transfers. We'll start off with what Ian said. Thoughts on Mark Ellis joining Solihull?
Good signing.
Yeah, I'd like to go for. I'd like to say something on this. He was unbelievable in the opposition box. And Chesterfield, what a moment that was. They're after you, George.
There have to be, mate.
Well, what a moment that was. If you go back to our vlog, I think George picks me up about 5 foot in the air. When the goal goes in, I mean, social distancing was supposed to be in place then, but unbelievable.
Out the window for a minute.
Out the window. But defensively, it didn't do anything. If anything, we let more goals in by a slight margin.
Yeah, well, we were left very open at the back. I remember them getting through on goal. I think Tyson was sort of playing off the last man, wasn't he? And he did get through one of once or twice. Slocum did very well in that game to keep us in it and not concede late on. But yeah, no, I agree. I think you look at our defence now is sound. We've got Kyle Cameron who's chipping in with goals, defensively sound, shores the defence up. I think we concede less with when he's playing. So, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have him.
No, I genuinely wouldn't.
Yeah.
Would you have Cameron over him?
What, over Ellis?
Yeah, I would.
Every day of the year.
Would you have Lacey over him? I would.
Different type of player, but yeah, I would.
Suits her style.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then I like Bromley as the third centre back, bit of athleticism.
Yeah, I do as well.
More pace. I genuinely wouldn't have him. And that's not like saying it just because they've got him. But it's interesting to know what you guys think in the comments. Would you have Mark Ellis back? I wouldn't. I don't think I would. I mean, he's got the mentality, hasn't he? But I think we're sound at the minute. Definitely sound at the minute. Me too. Other transfers then. Have you seen today rumours of 2 championship sides? Looking at Kyle Wootton. I think
I read somewhere. Is it Blackburn
and someone else?
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 in there. Like Rotherham are looking at them as well, but who knows? There's not long left of January. Let's just see what happens, eh?
Yeah, I don't think he leaves in this.
I don't think he'll leave in this transfer window, but I do think if you don't see an extension, he might be waiting to see if we get promoted. Who knows? I mean, the cards are well and truly with Wootton, I think, on that one. One thing that I did find interesting is your talks of bringing in another keeper.
Well,
Talks is going out on loan, isn't he? Well, they want him to get some minutes into him in playing men's football.
Well, we've got that out there. I think it's hard, isn't it? I mean, if you're bringing in another keeper, again, Ardley's basically saying, if it's a keeper that wants to be first team, Ardley's basically saying he doesn't trust Slocum.
Birchnell.
Sorry, Birchnell. Someone's put Ardley in here about Ellis, and I've read his name. But yeah, Birchnell has basically said he doesn't trust Slocum.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but he talks about competition for place, and Slocum understands that, and he thrives in that environment, sort of thing. So who really knows? I do agree with what you're saying, though. It does seem that way, doesn't it? If you're not backing your number 1, why don't you just bring in a number 2? But maybe he just wants competition for place.
Yeah, I hope it is more competition than replacement. Because actually, it's like if you go back to that game you're talking about, we were just talking about Mark Ellis. We were talking about how they got through on goal, and Slocum saves a 1-on-1 from Tyson, doesn't he, in that game? Yeah. And he saved 2 1-on-1s that literally got us into the next round of the playoffs. That didn't go too well, but he's got to get behind him.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. I don't think anyone will go. No, I don't think anyone will go, and I don't think we'll bring any more. If the team stays as it is, I think it's fine. Maybe that keeper for challenge him. I don't think we'll bring anyone else in. Yeah, personally. Chris says the teams allegedly after Wootton is Blackburn, Portsmouth, Rotherham, Huddersfield, Birmingham. I genuinely don't think you can make
Portsmouth aren't anymore.
No, they're not. Inside information is that?
Oh no, they signed what's his name? Is it Walker? I can't remember what his name is.
Might be Tyler Walker.
I think it is Tyler Walker. Yeah,
maybe
on loan.
I don't think he'd make a step up to the Championship. I know Portsmouth aren't Championship, but I don't think he'd make a step up to the Championship at all. I don't think it would. He just wouldn't, for me, be able to do it. I think a massive step up.
It is big.
Step up. You think Mullin? Is it Mullin or Mullet? Mullet? The Wrexham guy.
Mallet.
He hasn't really made the step down, has he, to the National League? I mean, 6 of his 11 have been penalties. And I'd back you to score a penalty. So
that's nice. That is. It's really nice.
No, but yeah, going up 3 divisions, crazy. Going back to what Chris said, then should we start to look ahead to Bromley?
Yeah, let's start.
Never a nice team to play. Never a nice. No,
they never have been. Never have been since we've been down here, have they?
No, and that's credit to the manager as well, because they're not one of the big hitters in this league. They're not, and I thought we had them at home. I really thought we had them at home. And then one goes in off Cheek's back, or was it his his shin or something
over
the line. It was awful. And then I mean, we should have scored another before they even got that chance. But Chris has brought something up, and this is a big hope for me if he plays, that Lacey will do a job on Cheek like he did Mullin. I think Lacey might have still been injured for that Bromley game at Meadow Lane. But I think Lacey, if you give him a one-to-one task and he's fully fit and he's back in with the match practice, I think you've got an unreal centre-back that will stick to his job well. Because he's not slow. He can win the ball in the air. Very good with the ball at his feet. Pretty calm. I don't remember too many mistakes or heart-in-mouth moments from Alex Lacey, to be honest. One of the calmest centre-backs. He does things that he can do, and he does them well. So do you think Lacey will be able to replicate that, or do you think Mullin is better or worse than Cheek?
He knows the National League, doesn't he, Cheek? You got to give him that. He's going to be a bit more of a slippery character, I think, than Mullin. But I mean, I back Lacey every day.
Yeah, that's the battle, a key battle for me. Any other battles on that pitch? Where do you think if we go to Bromley and win that game, where do we win that game? Because they're not going to be scared of us. They're not going to be playing. I'm not saying Wheelstone was scared. They had a game plan. Wheelstone's players aren't as good as Knox players, so they played a certain way. It's the same with most teams in this league.
I'm going to say what every single pundit says about every team ever. The game's going to be won in the midfield.
Elaborate. Because Vincent went off. Vincent went off last game. Got a bit sad to see
that. Yeah, me too. But I do think like that would give him a bit of a shove to think. I'm not saying he didn't perform well, but you know, when our midfield are firing, I think there's no midfield like it. And I just think once we're getting that link up going, 1-2s, passing goes, you can't defend against it, especially at this level. So I think if our midfield are on it on Saturday, we win that game.
Yeah, I don't think there's no midfield with the energy we've got. If it went down to a straight battle, you know, a sort of end-to-end game with any team in this league, like real end-to-end, and teams that tired themselves out, I think that our midfield's energy would edge it. Vincent could run for 120 minutes. If every game had extra time, he would play it. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're a very clever man. It's going to be one in the midfield. I agree.
Cheers, mate.
I agree. It's your glasses. It's your glasses. Sophisticated. I really like it.
Cheers.
Let's go for the team then, because a lot of people are saying Keaton's saying he wants to see Roberts on the wing. It's a really hard one. It's a really hard one.
You know, for me, a game like this would suit Francis down to the ground.
Oh, here we go.
No, it honestly would.
Here we go.
I just think he offers, a lot defensively. And I do feel like this is a game where we're going to need that little bit of extra help in defence. Like that performance against Wrexham was unreal. Clark Kent glasses, Chezian. Yeah.
I'm not off your stride there, I don't know with that compliment.
Completely, yeah. I don't know what to say. But yeah, no, I do feel like this game would suit Ed Francis. But then it's like if you bring in Francis in, you need to keep Palmer in for me and Vincent. Who do you drop?
You can't. We said right at the start of the video you wouldn't drop Rodriguez.
Yeah, exactly. Can you drop Cal?
No, you can't, because you've seen what he did. But then I thought Cal would back up the performance against Kings Lynn with a performance against Eastleigh when he started, and he didn't. And he hasn't. I don't know. I thought that would be like him literally exploding into life this season, but it's not. It's as simple for me as, how do we play this game? A lot of people say 4-3-3. 4-3-3 for me is dangerous to start the game away at Bromley.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
if Bromley take the lead, you're not going to switch back to a 5, are you?
No.
What formation would you start with?
Just start with what we always start with. You could possibly change it up a little bit. I've sort of talked about it before. Maybe you go like a 3-4-3. Still like a 5 at the back, if you will, like a 5-2-3. So you do have your sort of wingers or narrow forwards. But it's difficult, isn't it? because you kind of want to get Cal at his best because he does change games and scores goals as we saw at Kings Lynn, but you also don't want to change things too much to the sake of changing it for one player.
Yeah.
But then if that player gets a hat trick when he's put in his preferred position and wins you the game, do you utilise it to its fullest extent?
I think Cal worked so well against Kings Lynn though because he hadn't started on the wing, and then for the first for most of the second half they didn't know how to deal with him at all. So so many things. 4-4-2 is being mentioned. 4-3-3. You've said keep it with the 5/3 at the back.
I don't think we should change it too much anyway, because like I've said a few times now, just in this episode, we're still doing quite well. We're not doing bad.
No, we're not. I like the idea of 4-2, 4 defenders, 2 midfielders, 3 behind Wootton. I like the idea of that, but I can't see it personally because we haven't used it. My 3 behind Wootton would be Brunt, Rodriguez, and Cal. Personally, that's very creative. And then I'll have Palmer and Vincent. But
Birchall loves his wing backs, doesn't he? He loves pinning them back. That's like his number one thing that he talks about all the time and that he aims to do, pin them back. Which opens
how effective would Richardson be not being a wing back? Slightly less license to get forward. Well, is it his best getting forward? Exactly like you said, and Birchall said, pinning them back.
I don't know, because I think if we do play a 4-2, those two sort of give cover for the fullbacks, don't they, to essentially advance a bit more. So I think it could possibly work.
Yeah, I like that from Chris, to be fair. Teams don't expect us to start fast anymore. Yeah. We haven't really all season. Teams don't expect it. Charlie says have a variety of formations, so teams don't know how we set up. So let's go to our concrete side then. Who are we going for? Hang about. Notts County, we completed the signing. Let's have a quick look at this. Notts signed Liverpool goalkeeper Viteslav Jaros on loan until the end of the season. There it is. Signed him.
Nice.
That's nice for our episode. So we've just signed a Czech goalkeeper from Liverpool. Don't know too much about him. If anyone is now wanting to do a bit of research, let us know. Liverpool goalkeeper Jaros has joined us on loan to the end of the season. The 20-year-old Czech youth international. Arrived at Anfield in 2017 from Slavia Prague. Went on to make his first senior appearance in a friendly against Tranmere Rovers. So we've signed another keeper. So there we go. Interesting stuff.
Just in time for the lineup.
Just in time for our lineup.
It's almost as if someone's watching.
It is. Oh, I think Bertram has watched us and said, just wait a little bit till the lads get to that point. I'm trying to go back and find a comment.
What fella?
This comment. Sam has served as well. Sad for him because he showed loyalty in the summer. Bertram clearly wants a footballing goalkeeper. If Jaros is to come in as a starter, I do feel sorry for Sam. I do.
Yeah.
At his stage of the career, you don't want to be messed about. It isn't. He's in, he's out, he's in. You need a keeper that's going to come in all season.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Ian says it's like a real podcast with breaking news. We have got breaking news. Unbelievable, isn't it? So thank you for holding that until this point, Notts, when we're live. Thoughts then, George, on that? Starter or... I mean,
expecting it. Really, weren't we?
I didn't expect that, though. That to me, going higher up, and that to me doesn't seem like a... does it seem like a start? I don't think it does. I don't think he's going to start.
Played in Ireland last season, didn't he?
Yeah.
Strange one. We'll see. Bertrand has clearly said that we were bringing a keeper in that's going to challenge. So he's not going to have brought in someone to sort of sit on the bench. He's been pretty clear about that. So, I mean, will we see him start? Who knows?
I don't know. That's the end for Sam, though. If he comes in and starts, just doesn't show trust. Doesn't show trust. If you were at the game, just while we do our starting lineup, will you just give me a rate? me and George a rating out of 10 of how well you thought Slocum played on Tuesday night. Yeah, just let us know.
Yeah.
Just let us know what you rated Slocum, because obviously we weren't at the game. We heard what was going on. We heard some good saves. We heard he spilt it a couple of times. So let us know about that. That would be really helpful. So we'll go on to it, George. If I say one goalkeeper, you say the other. We've got it right between us. So in goal, I'm going Sam Slocum.
I'm going Sam Slocum.
Oh, you just completely ruined it. No, I think it will be Slocum though.
Yeah, me too.
Available Saturday, subject to Prem approval. So Slocum in goal.
Wing backs?
Yeah, back 5. Richardson, and please, can I just see Joel Taylor?
Yeah, he's gone off the radar.
Please, I don't know. The last time he played was Southend, 12th of December, if my memory serves me right.
Yeah, now
long time ago.
How did that game end? 4-1.
I just want to see him play.
Me too.
Yeah. So I'm going Joel Taylor, if possible, please. Definitely. Chickson, always good. But we need that a bit more attacking impetus down that side. Back 3, Lacey, Cameron, Bromley.
Yeah, agreed.
My midfield, Vincent and Palmer.
Okay. Yours? My midfield, Francis, Palmer, Vincent.
Okay. Francis, Palmer, Vincent. And then I'm going. It's hard. You want Cal on the wing, but I don't think he will be. So I think it'll be Cal and Ruben behind Wootton.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have Ruben and Wootton up top.
Yeah. So no Cal.
No Cal.
No Cal Roberts after scoring.
Bring him on later in the game.
Fair enough. Keaton says some Liverpool fans saying the new keeper's too good for the National League. We will have to see. Chris says, did Joel Taylor play against Eastleigh? Did he come on? I generally can't remember. It feels like
he did, but it wasn't for very long.
But then he wasn't on the bench against Weirdstone then, was he? That's a really interesting one. He's not match fit. He's not match fit to start, is he? He's not match fit to start. So my bench then, even though I want him in, he's not match fit to start. Bench is going to have Brunt on it.
Yeah.
People on Twitter saying the new goalkeeper will be number 1 in League 1. Maybe we've got it wrong. Maybe he's starting. You've got to go some way to be as good as Pato. Pato was incredible.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it? I'd like to see the conversation between Bertrand and Klopp, though.
Yeah, I think he basically rang him up and said, "Right, I'm having him. Send him down." Can you imagine if it comes to the end of the season and wherever Notts finished, they finished like, say Notts did win the league and we're all dreaming and we're happy about it, and it comes down to like a point. Literally, Patterson coming back and saving a penalty was one of the differences. Literally came back for a game and saved a penalty.
Yeah, I just remember Fitzsimmons doing something similar.
Oh gosh, that was unreal, wasn't it?
Fantastic.
Came back, saved against the club he's on loan. He was on loan to. Unbelievable. So before we do our score prediction, George, do you want to look at tonight's question?
Oh yeah, just give me a minute. My phone's not on. Right then, what's your favourite TV soap to watch? Emmerdale, Coronation Street, EastEnders. I don't waste my time watching. Emmerdale 7%, Coronation Street 12%, EastEnders 7%, 74%. I don't waste my time watching them. Tom, what are you in?
I'm now in that 74%. But I tell you what, when I was younger, when I was at school, I religiously watched Coronation Street with my family.
Yeah, me and you both.
Used to love it. Come to school on a Monday, everyone would be talking about football. You'd be talking about what happened at Rovers return. Yeah. Unbelievable.
What was Norris up to? And Roy.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, not anymore. I don't have time for that.
No, I don't have time
too busy watching like other things.
74.
Just non-soap.
74%.
What's the most recent thing you've watched then, Tom?
Most recent?
I watched Clarkson's Farm. Finished watching it the other day.
I finished watching the Tourist last night.
I don't want to put any spoilers out there, but what a weird ending.
Yeah, but I thought it was all right. I don't think it was too bad. And Afterlife. Finished Afterlife the other day as well. What a good series.
Never watched that. Might watch it.
You're missing out. Cora got my vote. Haven't watched for years. EastEnders is very depressing as well. Right, score predictions. Get your score predictions in. We can talk about soaps and Norris and Rita and Gail Platt all night.
And hot pots.
Yes, but we have a score prediction. Games are going to come thick and fast now, aren't they? After we've got this Bromley game, we have a week to prepare for Saturday, Tuesdays for weeks and weeks. So, George, you can go first. I'll start putting some others on the screen while we go.
2-1 Notts.
Okay.
Ed Francis score from range, and Wharton to score.
I like that Yaros brace. Ed Francis ain't scoring from range. I'm going to go Bromley 0, Notts 1. I think Lacey will have Michael Cheek in his pocket all game, but I think we will nick it towards the end. Eli Sam off the bench.
Really?
I think, yeah.
That'd be a love story, that would.
I'm getting a bit upset here. If you've seen the thumbnail is Adam Chickson. And we've done it for Callum.
He's already done it. Have you seen it?
Has he already done it?
Right at the start. Scroll back.
I've got to find it.
Right at the start. You'll see it. You can't miss it.
Right at the start of the episode?
Yeah.
I've got to find it. Hang on.
You'll see it. There he is.
3-2 win. Chickson.
Hat-trick.
Callum, that thumbnail was for you today. It was for you. And if you're wondering, on Sunday night special, Callum did comment a few hours after the episode saying he missed it because it was a Sunday, but Chickson hat-trick. So all was well with the world.
Flawless.
Absolutely flawless. Definitely. So there's our predictions. Massive game. Massive game. This is really the start of the running, isn't it? The running of 7 or 8 really tough games. Grimsby, Chesterfield in there, Bromley away. There we go. Let's put it in again. Callum, hero. It's vitally important that I think it's even more important we do not lose this game with 2 home games coming up straight after. Really important.
Me too.
Yeah. We are really pushing for those subscribers to get to 2,000 by the end of the season, hopefully, and pair that with a promotion party live on the channel. So if you could subscribe, that would be massively helpful. Please don't forget to like the video as well and comment any other thoughts you might have before we play Bromley. Safe travels if you are traveling.